Hi everyone, my name is Monique and I'm the head of community here at Self. Today we are here with a friend of Self. I'll let him introduce himself in a moment, but this conversation is geared towards our Gen Z builder. If you're new to credit or fresh out of college or you're just trying to figure out credit, this conversation is for you.
My name is Hassan Thomas. I'm the CEO and founder of FYI FLI, which stands for Your Information, Financial Literacy, and Investing. So I started this company in 2020 when I graduated from college, went from college to COVID, started that podcast on financial literacy, turned it into 2 books.
So let's get into it. Can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
explain what credit is in plain terms for someone that is new to credit and knows nothing?
How I like to think about it is credit score is basically like your trustworthy score. For example, if you were to loan a friend some money and they didn't pay it back on time, they used all the money that you gave them, would you be able to give them money again if they asked for
Probably not.
it? So that's literally the same thing with banks. If you don't pay their money back on time, if you use all of their money that they gave you, then they're going to lower your credit score. But in their eyes, it's like, oh man, this person may not be as responsible with credit or with our money because it's not yours, it's theirs. They may not be responsible. So to know for the future, we have to look at that credit score to see if we're going to give you money. If we are going to give you money, how much are we going to tack on extra that you have to pay back from giving them that money? So that's kind of how I like to look at credit.
And then on the flip side, the positive side, if you do pay on time and you do establish your trustworthy score, what happens then?
So if you do pay on time, your score does rise. And that's why I think it's so important that we use this type of education to pay back on time so we can raise our scores, because it honestly makes our life easier with the higher credit score. Once you got those high credit scores, you may be able to get some great rates for insurance, for cars, for homes, all of those adult things that we really want to do. You'll be able to pay less over time compared to somebody who has low or no credit.
So for our builders that are maybe a little bit younger, like 18, 19, new to college, maybe they're just focused on school and, having fun with their friends, why should credit still be important to them? Maybe they don't have those big goals like a house or a business and they just want to get through school. Why is credit still important?
So, for one, the third biggest factor of your credit score is your credit history, how long you've had credit. So, I think that's where the important piece is, because even though you don't have that goal right now, you're going to have a place to live. You're going to have some type of transportation. Maybe not in our immediate goals, but it's going to be very important that you have that great credit score, that good credit score to do those adult things that we all want to do. But it starts in college. It starts now while you're younger, when it's easier to build up that credit, because as we get older, we take on more responsibilities. We have a spouse, eventually have kids, we have bigger responsibilities at our job. So let's start now while we only have to think about making class, thinking about our friends and the extracurricular activities, because we can focus on it a little more and it'll have a bigger benefit once we really need it. Because you don't want to need credit and then be like, oh man, I have low credit. You know what I mean? That creates that stress and anxiety, and that's what we want to do, is take away that from people.
So, what would be the pros of learning about like your finances and credit while you're in school or even before college?
I think some of the pros are just to be ahead. Think about when you were in college and you were seeing some of your classmates get that new apartment. They did all those things by having good credit. Maybe their parents, educated them on early, but not everybody has that available. So that's why I think it's so important to just doing that self education, because it's not taught in school just yet. If you're not educated on credit, once somebody brings up, hey, you actually need a 700 or a 750 to get into this new apartment, you're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? $750? Okay, I think I can come up with that." Then they're gonna be like, "No, you need a 750 credit score," and
Right.
you may not know what that is. That's gonna create that stress and anxiety. By getting educated on early the fundamentals of financial education, like your credit, investing, having a budget, those different things will really help people in the long run.
So, for those that are ready to get started, they're feeling motivated after listening to you, what are some ways that they can start building their credit?
You can do the same thing that I did when I first graduated college in 2020. I kind of like, okay, now I'm in the real world. So I'm like, okay, my first step is getting my finances in order. So I did research, and I found self. The education and the habit that I formed with self has sticked with me throughout my credit building journey.
What if someone is ready to make a bigger commitment to their credit and they're thinking about opening a secured card? What are the pros and cons of that?
But when we talk about pros, we talk about being able to raise your credit from paying on time. And how I like to use my credit card is everything that I would have paid for with my debit card. So, say when I go get groceries or I go get gas, anything of that nature that's a necessity, I use my credit card and then pay it back with my debit card because I was going to use it anyways. So why not, as we talked about a win-win, why not let's get, cash back rewards, let's get the travel rewards, let's get all these different things while raising our credit and then pay it back with that debit card that we were going to use anyways. The cons of that credit card would be if you forget to pay it, if you don't set up automated payments and you don't pay it and you overuse it, if you spend more than you should, not knowing how to use that credit card. And the difference is the secured card, you put your own money down compared to an unsecured card. That's when the banks give you their money. So that's why it's unsecured, because they don't know if you're going to pay it back. But the secured card, it's secure because it's your money.
Right. And you're proving to the bureaus that you are trustworthy. So that's the most important thing. So
For
you have the
sure.
opportunity to do that. Do you have any final advice for our Gen Z builders on how to build credit?
I would say the first thing is just getting educated. Whenever you don't know something, you're automatically going to kind of shy away from it a little bit. So getting that education, follow some people on social media where you're already at, follow them, type in what I did was hashtag credit, hashtag financial literacy, found some people that I resonated with, that I thought I could learn from. And then I learned from them. I consumed some of their content, saw their videos, checked out YouTube videos. Shout out YouTube University. Self has a lot of great education on credit. You can tap in with them. We have some great FYI FLI, the podcast has some great episodes on credit. We're about to release one with Monique, so you can definitely check that out as well. But I think that's definitely the first step, is just educating yourself, then applying yourself, and then you got to reinvent yourself.
Just get started. Just do it. You'll be
For
doing
sure.
more than you did. If you just do one thing today, it's more than you did last month. If you would like more credit tips, you can always go to self.inc. Or if you're wondering how to get started, you can go to our YouTube series. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.